Hey everyone, it's Nitesh Jaiswal and welcome to this quick start guide to building better habits and a better life. We're diving deep into the world of atomic habits based on my book of the same name. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down the core principles of why small changes matter, how they compound over time, and how you can use this knowledge to achieve remarkable things. Forget about chasing massive overnight transformations. Instead, we'll focus on the power of tiny, consistent improvements that add up to extraordinary results. Get ready to unlock a system for continuous growth and lasting change. Let's get started. We often overestimate the importance of single grand gestures while underestimating the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. But the truth is, it's the tiny things done consistently over time that create a significant impact. Think of it like this. If you improve just 1% each day in a year, you will be over 37 times better than you were before. That's the power of compounding small wins. On the flip side, negative habits, if left unchecked, can compound against us, leading to undesirable outcomes. The key takeaway here is that success is not a one-time event, it's the sum of our daily habits. By focusing on making small incremental changes in the right direction, we set ourselves up for remarkable long-term growth. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Don't get discouraged by setbacks. Instead, focus on building a system of atomic habits that will guide you toward your desired future. Even if you don't see immediate results, trust that the small changes you're making are creating a ripple effect in your life. Stay the course, and you'll be amazed by what you can achieve. To effectively build good habits and break bad ones, we need a framework for change. That's where the 4 laws of behavior change come in. Think of these laws as your practical toolkit for habit formation. The first law is make it obvious. We are more likely to repeat behaviors that are easily accessible and visible. To build a new habit, make it obvious. Want to drink more water? Place a full water bottle on your desk where you can't miss it. The second law is make it attractive. We gravitate towards behaviors that are appealing and enjoyable. Pair a habit you want to build with something you already love doing. Want to listen to a podcast? Only allow yourself to listen while you're on your daily walk. The third law is make it easy. Reduce the friction associated with good habits and increase the friction associated with bad ones. Want to exercise in the morning? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. The fourth law is make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat behaviors that provide us with immediate gratification. Reward yourself after completing a habit, even in a small way. This reinforces the behavior and makes you want to do it again. One of the most effective ways to build new habits is to stack them onto existing ones. This leverages the power of your current routine, making it easier to integrate new behaviors into your life. Think about your daily routine. What's something you do consistently without fail? It could be brushing your teeth, making your morning coffee, or getting ready for bed. These are your anchor habits. Now identify a new habit you want to build and link it to one of your anchor habits. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 2 minutes. By stacking the new habit onto an existing one, you create a clear trigger and make it more likely that you'll follow through. You can use habit stacking to build a chain of positive habits throughout your day. For instance, after I finish my morning coffee, I will write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Remember, the key is to choose specific and actionable habits that you can easily link to your existing routine. Over time, these small changes will compound, leading to significant improvements in your life. When it comes to building lasting habits, focusing solely on goals and outcomes is often not enough. The most effective way to change your behavior is to shift your identity. Your identity is your self-image, your beliefs about who you are and what you stand for. Your habits are simply a reflection of this identity. If you see yourself as someone who is lazy and undisciplined, your habits will reflect that. But here's the good news, you can change your identity. You can choose to see yourself as someone who is disciplined, healthy, and successful. And once you do, your habits will naturally align with this new identity. So, how do you shift your identity? It starts with your thoughts and beliefs. Start by asking yourself, who do I want to become? Once you have a clear vision of your desired identity, you can start acting in accordance with that identity. For example, if you want to become a writer, start identifying as a writer. Write every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Join a writing group, surround yourself with other writers. The more you act like a writer, the more you'll believe you are one. One of the biggest reasons people fail to stick with their habits is that they get discouraged when they don't see immediate results. We live in a world of instant gratification, but the truth is, real change takes time. When you first start building a new habit, you may not notice much difference in your life. You're putting in the effort, but the results seem invisible. This is what I call the plateau of latent potential. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you give it sunlight, but for a while nothing seems to be happening. But beneath the surface, the seed is slowly germinating, developing roots and preparing to sprout. The same is true for your habits. The work you're doing is not in vain. It's building a foundation for future growth. The key is to trust the process and stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it. Remember, breakthroughs often happen in a non-linear fashion. You may not see results for weeks, months, or even years, but when they do come, they often come all at once, like a sudden burst of growth. Getting started is often the hardest part of building a new habit. We tend to overcomplicate things, making them seem more daunting than they need to be. That's where the 2-minute rule comes in. The 2-minute rule is simple. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The idea is to make it as easy as possible to get started, removing any barriers to action. For example, if you want to start a daily writing habit, don't try to write a whole chapter on day 1. Instead, commit to writing for just 2 minutes. That's it. Once you've done that, you can stop if you want. The beauty of the 2-minute rule is that it gets you moving. Once you've overcome the initial inertia, you're more likely to keep going, and even if you only do the 2 minutes, that's still 2 minutes more than you would have done otherwise. Remember, the goal is to build a habit, not to run a marathon on day 1. Start small, make it easy, and focus on consistency. Our environment plays a powerful role in shaping our behavior. We're constantly being influenced by our surroundings, whether we realize it or not. That's why it's so important to design an environment that supports our desired habits. Think of your environment as an invisible hand that's constantly guiding your actions. If you're surrounded by cues that trigger bad habits, it's going to be much harder to resist them. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by cues that trigger good habits, you'll be more likely to follow through. Start by identifying the cues in your environment that are currently triggering your bad habits. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, but you always have junk food on the counter, that's a cue that's working against you. Once you've identified the negative cues, take steps to remove or reduce them. In the example above, you could simply put the junk food away in a cupboard, or better yet, get rid of it altogether. Next, start introducing cues that will trigger your desired habits. For example, if you want to start a daily meditation practice, set up a dedicated meditation space in your home. One of the best ways to stay motivated and on track with your habits is to track your progress and get regular feedback. When you track your habits, you become more aware of your behavior, and you're more likely to make conscious choices that align with your goals. There are many different ways to track your habits. You can use a simple notebook, a habit tracker app, or even just a calendar. The most important thing is to find a system that works for you and that you'll actually stick with. Once you have a tracking system in place, make it a habit to review your progress regularly. This will help you identify any areas where you're struggling and make adjustments as needed. Getting feedback on your progress can also be incredibly motivating. Share your goals with a friend or family member and ask them to hold you accountable. Or join an online community of people who are working on similar goals. There you have it, the key principles of atomic habits to transform your life. Remember, it's not about radical change overnight, but about the small, consistent actions you take each day. Embrace the power of 1% improvements, utilize the 4 laws of behavior change, and remember that success is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and celebrate your progress along the way. Thanks for joining me, and start building your atomic habits today.